Hi, this is Jake Cadwell with Cross Country Mortgage, and you are tuning into episode 2 of the Veteran Owned Small Business Series, where each week we highlight a local business and discuss their journey to where they are today. And today we have Randy Isaac with Catalyst Inspections. Welcome, Randy.
Thanks for having me, Jake.
Well, thanks for being on. Once again, Randy with Catalyst Inspections. So Randy, we just kind of want to get your story here. So where are you from?
Well, born and raised down in Texas. We've lived up here in Colorado now for about the past 12 years. So glad to be here.
Awesome. So so you're originally from Texas, right?
Yeah,
All right. So from Texas, did you go straight to the military?
I did.
All right. And what branch were you in?
Air Force?
All right. I was in the Marines, so I quickly learned that the Air Force bases are by far the best. When you go to a chow hall of theirs or the barracks, you quickly realize that there are major differences between the branches.
And we all got paid the same.
Yeah, that's right. That is right. So you were in the Air Force for 6 years. What did you do in the Air Force?
Our official job title was Security Forces, but the easiest way to explain it to people is it was the Air Force's version of military police.
Okay, so they give it a nice title, but yeah. So you were on base, kind of policing. That was the deal.
That was the deal. Doing police and flight line security.
Okay, nice. So you did your 6 years. Were you stationed in one place? Did you travel around?
Was stationed mainly at Altus Air Force Base down in Oklahoma. Did deploy out of there a few times to different locations. That was
Okay.
where I was stuck the whole 6 years. So
Oh, really? All right. How did Oklahoma treat you?
hot,
Yeah, hotter than Texas?
way hotter than Texas.
Really? That's surprising.
Yeah, they had like every summer they would have on their like billboard coming into base the 100 days over 100, like how to be safe.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel your pain. I was out in 29 Palms doing my training. So I was out in the desert, and if you had a 100-degree day in the summer, that was a cool day. That was a nice day. I mean, it got up to 120, 130. I mean, it was crazy. So you're in Oklahoma and you get out of the Air Force. So did you go back home for a little bit, or what did you do afterwards?
Good question. So I actually got married to my wife, who was also in the Air Force. My last like 2 years in, after we got out, we went and lived in Dallas. Growing up in
Nice.
Texas, I always wanted to live in like that DFW area. So we lived there for a few years and started doing car sales of all the things imaginable
Hmm.
for a handful of years.
Okay. And so, well, your wife, did you meet her in the Air Force?
I did. Yeah,
Oh,
she
that's
was
awesome.
radar maintenance is what she was doing.
Okay. Well, good. So you're in Texas, and how did you kind of end up in Colorado?
So my mother-in-law had recently moved over to Greeley and had been bugging us to move up here with the grandkids. So we came up here one summer on vacation, did all the touristy Colorado things, went to Denver, went to Estes Park, and kind of explored around Fort Collins and things like that, and kind of fell in love with the smaller town vibe and being by the mountains, and moved up here shortly after. I think we were up here, came up here in the summer on vacation. We're here by November.
Oh, wow. So that was a quick turnaround. So yeah, you must have just got hooked on something out here. And I totally get it. I particularly love this area. I don't know, it's just that small town vibe. There's actually stuff to do, but it's not like BFE out in the middle of nowhere. It's a good mix, and I love the people around here.
Right.
Everyone's very welcoming, so I'm totally with you on that. So you come up to Colorado, and you kind of get into the inspection game a little bit. How did you kind of, get into that arena of business?
So what originally kind of got me into the arena is I worked for a company that sold moisture detection equipment, and a lot of that kind of focused around talking to home inspectors and doing trade shows with those guys, and doing a little bit of training with on how to use the equipment, and transitioned from that into starting my own company that sold that same equipment along with some of the thermal imaging equipment. And that's how we transitioned into doing the inspections full time. Just, kind of got curious about it and started kind of digging deeper into it and really enjoy it.
Okay, good. Yeah. I mean, that's good that you're able to kind of transition off of something that, you got when you moved here, and then you found, that you really enjoyed it. So going from the detection to the inspection, what was kind of no, sorry for the pun, what was the catalyst that made you decide to start your own business?
Um, Freedom, really, to kind of hang out with my kids more, hang out with my family more, do things that like that. Honestly, was kind of the big key to starting my own business. Years and years of working for somebody else, and it was time to work for myself for a while.
Absolutely. The benefit of being self-employed, being your business owner, is the flexibility. Now,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean that you work any less. It just means that you're able to rearrange things differently. And you and me, both being married, having two little ones, it can be a handful, and it can take a lot of your time. So it's nice to be able to plan things that you normally wouldn't be able to. Working that 9 to 5 job, going to this appointment, or going to this event with your kids, or spending time with your wife, just things like that. It's a huge advantage of self-employment. So I totally agree. So with that, what do you feel like is because the military is very structured.
Right.
Everything is set in stone, and you just do your thing. But self-employment's the complete opposite of it. So do you think that what kind of made you, if you're have 6 years of this job experience, this military experience, what's kind of the feeling that you have that when you want to start your own business? I mean, is it, I've just had enough of this and I'm ready to take it on my own?
That was kind of the mindset. Um, and, like you said, lots of structure in the military. I think you have to kind of apply some of that structuring, obviously, to running your own business. So you got to sit down, make your game plans weekly, daily, monthly, quarterly on things that need to get accomplished. So you still have that kind of structured mentality, not to the same extreme, obviously, as the military,
Yeah,
but you still have a little bit of that.
that beard's not regulation.
You sure? I don't know.
So other than kind of the structure, what other traits do you think that you got out of the military that are helping you with your business today?
I think one of the biggest ones is like the old saying of kind of embrace the suck. So you just got to like kind of dig in. Sometimes you have rough days when you're running your own business. Sometimes, you don't feel like you're doing everything that you should be doing, or things are just going off the rails. And then it always rights the ship as long as you stay on task. And it's just one of those things from the military. Like, not every day is going to be
Oh no.
rainbows and butterflies.
No, not at all. Embrace the suck is a great mantra to live by, because we all have those bad times in everyone's business, and especially the military when you're supposed to go rake dirt for 2 hours in the 120-degree weather. You embrace the suck. You take what you have and you learn from it, and it just builds a thicker skin and makes you better. So I completely agree with that. So what advice would you give to people looking to start their own business, say to make that jump from that 9 to 5 to their own business, their own schedule, all the responsibilities on them? What tips would you have for someone thinking about making that jump?
Kind of come up with a game plan on what it is you want to do. What are the steps of getting to that? And then just do it. Because the more you sit around and think about it and try to plan it out and wait for the right day at the right time at the right moon phase, it's never going to happen. You just have to have faith in yourself that you're going to be able to make it work, and then get yourself a nice, strong support system around you with mentors and from even different industries and just business leaders, and just make the jump. Because if not, like I said, you'll never talk yourself into it if you don't just go for it.
Yeah, you definitely want to get out of that comfort zone. That comfort zone is nice because you know exactly what you're getting, but it's all a learning experience. Every single self-made millionaire, billionaire, you'll always hear them just say they just went for it. You think, Jeff Bezos knew everything about his now $2 trillion company?
Right.
Absolutely not. Now, so yeah, it's just pushing yourself, learning from your mistakes, and then the mentors. Totally agree. I think that finding someone that is not even necessarily successful in your industry, but just someone that has life experience and a track record to back it up. Business, you may have your own specialty, but business is business.
Right.
You're trying to get customers, generate revenue, so finding a mentor is definitely important. So I 100% agree. So about your business, you are into home inspections, and I'm sure a lot of people know what that is, but how would you describe your job in your own words?
So the easiest way I've come up with trying to describe it is protecting your potential investment. You're making one of the biggest investments you're ever going to make in your lifetime, buying a house. And you just want to make sure it's going to be safe for your family and not going to be just a continuous money pit. So a home inspection is going to be able to give you a little bit of insight on how that house is going to work for you and your family down the road, and kind of immediately. And yeah, like I said, it's a real good way to have an idea of how to protect what you're investing in.
Absolutely. I mean, you're right. It is the biggest investment. I mean, I'm in mortgages, so we're definitely on the same page. And inspections are always suggested by, real estate agents and lenders, because if you're spending 300, 400 plus thousand on a home, especially, an older home, you don't know what the sewer lines are like, the foundation. We find things that, undisclosed fires. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you need to know. But it's not just on old houses as well. I mean, we're even talking about new builds. You would still want to do an inspection, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I've found just as many or not more problems with new builds as some of the older homes. So it's such a small fraction of the cost of purchasing the home to get a home inspection that it doesn't really make sense not to get that and at least have that information available to you
Hmm.
when you're buying that house.
And I mean, other than, I mean, and it's not just when you buy a house. There may be other reasons that you would get an inspection, right?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people want to get the inspection done at the 11-month time after they've purchased the house because they got that 1 year warranty on their house. So you want to make sure that the house is still functioning the way it's supposed to with all the appliances and just everything kind of going on. So yeah, getting that inspection done right before your 1 year warranty is up is definitely a great thing to get done.
Yeah, my 1 year ends in December, so we'll set that up here pretty soon.
Perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really important. So um, and then with your business, with your inspection, you also do give a 10% discount to veterans and first responders, correct?
Correct. Yeah. I feel like it's always good to be able to give back to, those who have served and are still serving and all that stuff.
Okay, awesome. Well, we definitely appreciate that. I'll take you up on that for sure. Um, so what are some things that you've discovered in your while inspecting? What's some of the like 3 to 5 of the most common issues that you see?
Um, Bathroom vents where you turn your exhaust fan on, venting terminating in the attic instead of out into outside of the
Oh
structure.
yeah.
One's kind of common.
Okay.
Clogged soffit vents from where they've put the insulation in and clogged up all the ventilation in the attic. I've found missing insulation where there's just zero insulation. That's exciting. Uh,
Nice. That's a nice surprise.
Decks that aren't built, up to code. Maybe somebody built it over the weekend or something, and
Mm,
so just kind of some unsafe decks out there.
okay. All right. Well, do you have anything else to add, Randy? Anything that you want to mention?
No, not at this time.
All right. Well, I think that answers all of our questions. Once again, I do want to thank you, Randy. It's Randy Isaac with Catalyst Inspections. He is a Northern Colorado local family man, veteran. So it was a pleasure bringing you on today. And I know I'll be in touch with you. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to Randy on social media. He's on Instagram. Your meme game is very strong on your Instagram, and you can find him on Facebook too. But once again, I just want to say thanks, and you have a good one, Randy.
You too, Jake, and thanks for
Thanks.
having
Of course. Bye.
me.